and YouTube if you're watching. Subscribe right now into the Square Circle podcast at YouTube. All right, so here we go. Round number 1, SmackDown, Bianca Belair. Okay. Raw, Monday Night Raw gets Jey Uso. Wow. Okay. SmackDown. Okay, we got something here. Carmelo Hayes being called up from NXT. Carmelo Hayes got an excellent rivalry against Trick Williams in NXT. Now he's coming up to the main roster. Yeah, he had a match with Cody Rhodes, his first match in the main roster against Cody for the world title. That was interesting. Of course, the main event SmackDown, but okay. All right, there's something. Monday Night Raw. Seth freaking Rollins. Okay. Round number 2. SmackDown. Randy Orton. Raw. Braun Breaker. Okay, there's someone who's moving over. Braun Breaker only had a whopping 2 matches on SmackDown. Now he's going to Raw. Yeah. Okay. Nia Jax. SmackDown. Okay, yeah, she was on Raw for quite a bit. Liv Morgan. Monday Night Raw. I sound very enthusiastic about this. I'm very excited. A lot of big moves here going on. SmackDown LA Knight. God. Raw. Ricochet. SmackDown. The Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Tamataga, Paul Heyman. Monday Night Raw. Sheamus. Round number 4 of the draft. Picks. SmackDown. AJ Styles. Monday Night Raw. Alpha Academy. Chad Gable, Otis, Akira Tozawa, Maxine Dupree. SmackDown gets Andrade El Idolo. No, I'm wrong. He's Andrade. All right, another call up from the NXT roster. Monday Night Raw gets Kiana James and had a nice little package showing her history in NXT, which was great. So there was more drafts featured on social media Friday night. Friday Night SmackDown will get the OC, Gallows and Anderson. Baron Corbin. Holy smokes, he's moving up. A 40-year-old guy who's sitting in the kindergarten room. He's finally moving up somewhere now. I hope they do something with him. Baron Corbin, the OC, SmackDown. Cedric Alexander and Shanti the Adonis. Boy, I bet you guys were shocked about that. Monday Night Raw, Shayna Blazer. Raw, Zoe Starks. Raw, Elba Fry and Isla Dawn. Raw, Ivar. Boy, man, I'm disappointed all these people moved. Jeez Louise. All right, now let's go back to the very top. Let's talk about it. So, the draft, right? They made it very clear. If you have a championship around your waist that represent that brand, you are ineligible to draft. Meaning, if you're Cody Rhodes and you defeated Roman Reigns, who's been at SmackDown, who has the world champion, the undisputed champion, meaning Cody Rhodes is stuck with SmackDown. Damian Priest won the title from Seth Rollins from Raw, meaning Damian Priest will stay on Raw. No champions are being moved. Roman Reigns, right, the top star who lost his champion at WrestleMania, he withdraw from the draft, right? So I don't know what that means. If Roman Reigns decided to come back, he's going to get the Brock Lesnar treatment. He show up wherever he wants, whenever he wants, I guess. So there's that. And I guess if you're in a faction, I guess the whole faction goes with you. So there's your caveat on what's going on here. Obviously, Raw is going to get their draft picks this coming Monday. Let's see if any big time picks can be made. And of course, they mentioned during the draft, they're like, oh man, Monday Night Raw, they got to do their best to select their same people to keep them on their brand. And I'm like, So I still got this list. SmackDown, Bianca Belair. She never left it. She's been on it. So that's not a shocker. Jey Uso, been on Raw. Never been there. Remember, he was in SmackDown for quite a bit, and he was sent to Raw for compensation money from Cody Rhodes. So him staying on Raw is like, he's there. Carmelo Hayes, okay, good call off from NXT. There's nothing wrong with that. Seth freaking Rollins, always been on Raw, and he's been showing up on SmackDown as well. So there's been a lot of bouncing back and forth. So now he's permanent on Raw. What makes you think he's going to show up on SmackDown in the next 6-7 months? SmackDown, Randy Orton. Okay, ever since he came back, he chose SmackDown himself, and he's been there ever since. So, Braun Breaker. Okay, he kicked off his main roster career in SmackDown. I guess that's a plus for Raw. I guess. Nia Jax leaving Raw to go to SmackDown. Okay, all right. Is that a game changer? Liv Morgan staying on Raw. Okay, she's been on her. Nothing has changed with that as well. So, yeah, man, this is very exciting. Tell him my face is not. SmackDown LA Knight, again, been part of SmackDown. He's shown up on Raw every once in a while. Always been a SmackDown guy. Ricochet, again, another guy that's been on Raw. Stays on there. I guess, I don't know. SmackDown, the Bloodline has been on SmackDown for a while. They'll occasionally show up on Raw. Maybe they'll show up Raw leading up to SummerSlam or WrestleMania in the next 6-7 months. We'll have to wait and see. Sheamus, staying on Raw. Again, return on Raw. I don't know. AJ Styles, SmackDown. He's been on SmackDown for a while. So I look, man. And then the social media, the OC and Baron Corbin is just like, okay. Oh, man. Well, you know what? The draft so far has been a grand. I enjoyed it. And you know what, man? My Friday night consists of watching Chicago Cubs baseball. I'll be honest with you guys. I was watching some Chicago baseball against the horrible Boston Red Sox. And that was my time on SmackDown. And I kind of DVR'd SmackDown and fast forward. And not a lot of shockers for the draft. So, yeah. And by the way, Monday Night Raw was lacking a lot. I mean, you have no CM Punk, no Seth Rollins. Jey Uso. Yeah, Damian Priest. Yeah, you got Drew McIntyre, but all the big stars are not around. WrestleMania season's done. There's new storylines being developed. Things have cooled down tremendously. Question is, how many of the casuals are sticking around? I'm just asking. How many casuals are actually sticking around by now? Are there still DVR? Of course, Raw after WrestleMania is, everybody got to watch it, right? People that watch it casually. Hey, man, okay, I'm invested. I love WrestleMania. Let's talk about the Raw. Okay, I'm just blabbering here. Okay, so Raw this past Monday, 1,597,000 viewers. Okay, Raw was number 3 against, again, NBA playoffs. Last week was 1,807,000, trailing 4 weeks by 17%. And all these stats are from WrestleNomics.com. They get the credit. So, all right. So, boy, I am excited for Monday night. I'm going to stay up and watch it. Yeah. What do you guys think about the show already so far? Did you enjoy the draft? Did you? Don't lie to me. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know down in the comment section. If you're listening through a podcast, Into the Square Circle Podcast, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, through listen through Podcast Land and Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. What else is going on? Patreon.com/Into the Square Circle Podcast, $1.99 a month will get your name at the very end of the credits are here on YouTube and on the podcast land. Yeah, you can choose whatever you want to talk about in the bonus content. You choose what you want. We have a little bit of trivia.